Welcome back to Notre Dame Day. I'm Jenna Liberto. The Notre Dame mission calls for all students, staff, and faculty to constantly strive to be forces for good in the world. Our next guest has taken upon herself to fully embody this mission through ambitious acts of service. At just 19, she founded an NGO focused on addressing educational deficiencies in Zambia, the country she loves so deeply. So deeply, in fact, that her ultimate goal is to be its president. She describes herself as a woman, a Zambian, and simply Lughano Kabayi, and I'm so glad to have you here. Welcome to Notre Dame Day.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, it's just a pleasure, and I'm fascinated by your story and your ambitions, and I know our audience will be as well. But let's just start this way. Just glancing at your resume, it's kind of out of this world, and you haven't gotten out into the world quite yet. So I think what's even more impressive is that you're not about your own personal gain. You're truly looking to serve others, to serve the world globally, and then your country that you love so much. So tell me about where this dedication to service comes from.
Yeah, definitely. I think it comes from my family, to be very honest. Like, just being able to see my mom, my granddad serve their country and serve their community so wholeheartedly has inspired me as well. So my granddad is one of my biggest inspirations. He fought in the freedom struggle for Zambia's independence.
Okay.
And since I was a kid, he's always telling me about his deep love for the country and what was happening during the struggle for freedom in Zambia. And just hearing his own experiences, him talking about how much he just wanted Zambia to be free, how much he wanted his future generation, meaning myself, to have a better future, just inspired me to also want to do the same thing. And seeing my mom also just dedicate her life to serving, like through the Boys Brigade at church, for example, or through various community activities, really installed that spirit of service to me. And so I also started serving pretty much very early in my life. I started serving in church, and we'll do different community service work, and from there it was just like, this is the life I want to live. I want to be in service to other people. I want to always move it forward. Whatever I learn, I want to teach other people, and also just make sure that the world is a better place, honestly. Yeah, so.
Is that why Notre Dame was such a good fit for you? Am I right that you were pretty focused on Notre Dame? You didn't apply anywhere else?
That's true. Notre Dame is the only school I applied for undergraduate school. Wow. And my guidance counselor was always telling me, Lughano, this is not a good idea. I need you to give me other schools on the list. Where is your list? So in my last year of my A-levels, was told, oh, there's this amazing scholarship that we think would be a best fit for you. So I was told about the Hesberg USCO scholarship. And I remember going onto the Notre Dame website and just seeing this amazing school, seeing like punchlines like force for good, developing social citizens, and just seeing all of those things. And I was like, this is exactly where I want to be. This is a school where I want to be, a school where I'm able to grow, not just intellectually, but able to grow my spirit, able to grow my mind, able to grow my heart. And that just really stood out for me, because I didn't want to just go to any school where I'll come out and I'll probably be brilliant academically, but I wanted to come out being a decent human being, being somebody who continuously is in service to people. And Notre Dame is just that place, thinking in the words of like Blessed Bezo Moreau, thinking about like developing the heart, the mind, and the spirit. That just really touched me, and it felt like this was just the right place for me to be in, honestly.
And during your time here, you have been awarded multiple research grants. You're a research assistant. You interned in the English House of Commons. I heard you on my favorite podcast talking about that. So your resume continues to be just so impressive. Talk about that experiential learning that you've had at Notre Dame, and how has that set you up for what you want to do next?
Yeah, definitely. I've had an amazing experience at Notre Dame. I feel like I've lived so many different lives in these last 4 years. Just thinking about like being in the House of Parliament, for example. I'm a political science major, so I'm always learning about like how institutions change over time. This is how government operates. But being in the House of Commons in the most historical time period ever, the Queen died when I was in Parliament. parliament. We had Liz Truss be sworn in as a prime minister and then step down. So there was all of these historical moments going on, and I was learning from that, being able to see, so this is what actually happens when government is changing. This is what actually happens when we have coming in, when a monarch is changing. So just thinking about all of those things has really shaped my idea of like governance and institutions and changing, and that also fed into my research because I just finished my senior thesis on women's representation in parliament. So that taking away some of the learnings from British Parliament and going on to Zambian Parliament to see how are women getting into Parliament, what are the pathways for these women. All of those experiences are coming out of like things that I learned in the classroom, but being able to see them in person, being able to interact with them. And so that has really just like grown my love for learning and the experiences that I want to have post Notre Dame, and it's really shaped me. But I think the thing that has even shaped me more is just having the difficult conversations in the classroom.
Oh, that's great.
I've had amazing classes here at Notre Dame, just being able to think through my arguments, being able to articulate myself, whether it's through written work or through spoken work. So that has just been very phenomenal. It's helped me learn how to think, how to analyze situations, be critical as a student and also just as a citizen of the world. So
before we let you go, I want to ask real quickly, when can you run for president in Zambia? And just tell me a little bit about that next plan for you.
Yeah, definitely. So I can run for president as soon as the next elections in 2026, honestly, but I think it's going to take some time. So I have to be 35, obviously. So the next step post Notre Dame is I'll either be attending Cambridge or Oxford University, and then from then I want to work in governance and international development, and then start the groundwork. So I want to start from the ground up. I want to work within my community, be a member of parliament, then ultimately president, and just I don't know how long it's going to take. I always believe in God's timing, but yeah, eventually, probably the next 10 to 15 years.
Well, we would love to follow you. Please come back and talk to us. Thank you. Such a pleasure.
Definitely, of
Take
course.
care.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.